Conference championships and playoff spots are on the line in Week 8. Welcome to Sports Express. I'm Lauren Magiera. The postseason picture gets a little clearer after tonight with just 2 weeks left in the regular season. We'll take you to Rosholt, Athens, and the annual Law Game rivalry right here in Wausau. But we begin with a matchup in the Marewood that has major implications on the conference title. But for highlights between Marathon and Edgar, we send it over to the newsroom, which becomes our Sports Express command center on Friday nights. That's where we find David DeGuzman. David?
Lauren, if the Marewood Conference had a Facebook page, its status right now would be, it's complicated. I'll tell you why in a second. This is the third time in 5 weeks that we featured a contest in the Marewood as our game of the week, and each matchup seems to get better than the last one. Tonight, the stakes were high. And looking at the Marewood standings heading into tonight, if Marathon wins, the Red Raiders clinch the conference title. If Edgar wins, well, the season could end with a three-way tie for the crown. Stratford definitely interested in this game, hoping the Wildcats can get the victory. Marathon looking for its first conference title in 2 decades. Edgar trying to defend its crown on Breast Cancer Awareness Night, hence the pink socks. Let's take it to the third quarter. First down, Marathon in their own backfield, and Nathan Martin gets taken down by Lucas Hanneman. Sets up a 2nd and long. Next play, Martin again with what seems like all the time in the world, throws it up, gets picked off by Connor Handrick. 3rd interception from the senior QB. Edgar's drive would head into the 4th quarter. 3rd down, and Wildcats were in these situations a couple of times. Nehemiah Werner able to convert barely. Another 3rd down play for Edgar, and it's Werner again who gets the job done. Wildcats going up 29-8, and there you see Marathon running it all the way back, and all of a sudden they're in business. But that on 4th down, well, they couldn't make the play. Martin couldn't find anybody. Marathon would have a late rally, but late is the key word. Edgar hands Marathon its first loss of the year, 29-22. Let's take a look at elsewhere in the Marewood, by the way, now. So since Edgar won, there could be a 3-way tie for the conference title next week. We'll see. Elsewhere, Pittsville and Auburndale. Winner is at least eligible to extend their season past Week 9. Remember, a conference record better than 500 gets you to the postseason. Pittsville with the 38-8 win. So Pittsville playoff eligible, and Auburndale needing a win next week to be eligible. Taking a look at another game with playoff implications, this time in the Cloverwood. Owen Withee can win the Cloverwood outright if it can edge out its final 2 opponents. This week, the Blackhawks playing Newman Catholic, and we'll get to the score of that game in a second, but next week, Owen Withee plays Athens. So if the Blue Jays want to play for the Cloverwood title in Week 9, they'd have to take down Greenwood Granton tonight. Indians and the Blue Jays tied for 2nd in the Cloverwood. Athens has only allowed 8 points in its last 4 games. Late in a scoreless first quarter, the handoff to Max Stange almost takes it all the way to the house, gets knocked out of bounds by Bill Palmgratz. 1st and goal, Blue Jays. And the next play, Colin Ellenbecker decides to keep it for himself. Athens on the board first. The Blue Jays wouldn't stop there right after a G2 turnover on downs. It's Ellenbecker who decides to throw it to Stange this time. Blue Jays go up 14-0. They'd go on to win 42-6. Meanwhile, Owen is still in control of its own destiny for the Cloverwood title. Newman needed a win tonight to clinch a playoff spot. They'll have to wait another week. The Blackhawks remain unbeaten this year, a 21-6 win over Newman. The Cardinals can be eligible next week with a win over Assumption. One last game to bring you from the command center. This one decides first place in the CW10. Take a look at the standings. Almond, Bancroft, and Rosholt, both unbeaten in conference play. Port Edwards lost to both of those teams. They can clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. Meanwhile, Rosholt and Almond Bancroft, if we can take a look at that, Hornets with 4 of the conference's top 12 rushers. But Almond Bancroft has the best running back in the CWC 10 in Regan Anderson. Almond's first possession, Even Pagel fumbles, picked up by Rosholt's Spencer Bebenek. Rosholt's possession, Jared Richter passes to Nick Lemke for the touchdown, putting them on the board. They would miss the 2-point conversion, making it 6-0 Rosholt. Almond bouncing back, though. Pagel passing it to Jesse Hunkins for the touchdown, putting them on the board. They would get the 2-point conversion, making it 8-6 Almond. Rosholt with the 14-8 win. We have yet to receive a score from the Port Edwards-Tigerton Marion game. Once we get that, we'll post it on our website. That's all for the Command Center right now on the 8th week of the high school football season, but there are a few more playoff spots to be handed out from the Valley Football Association, and for that, let's send it back to Lauren Magiera in the studio. Lauren.
Thanks, David. Well, the log game rivalry had playoff implications in recent years. In 2012, Wausau East grabbed a postseason spot with a win over West. This year, it's the Warriors' turn, and win they're in. Lumberjacks looking to spoil the Warriors' fun at Tom Field. It's a scoreless game. Logan Dennison comes out of nowhere for the sack, loss of yardage, and a 4th down. Well, let's take a look at this next play. 4th and 14. The snap is bad. Bryce Widmark fumbles the ball, and the Warriors are credited with a safety, 2-0. In the second quarter, you can see I'm faked out with the camera, but David Seamon hands off to Callan Benz. There he is running into the end zone to take the 9-0 lead. Warriors win the log, 30-7. Elsewhere in the VFA North, the Evergreens looking to clinch their spot in the postseason, taking on Kaukauna. Well, after DC Everest's 21 unanswered points, Ghosts 4th and 14. Check out this beautiful pass to Trent Knights in the end zone. That would tie this game up at 21 apiece. Off the kickoff, though, DC Everest would fumble the ball, and Kaukauna recovers it, leading to this. It's 4th and 10 now. Ghosts opt for a field goal. It's good to take the lead 24-21, but as I'm walking out the door of this game, DC Everest returned the kickoff for a touchdown to take back the lead 28-24. Evergreens win at home 38-30. In the VFA South, Spash needs to win out in order to become playoff eligible. An upset over Marshfield can get them halfway there. Coming back from halftime, Marshfield up 17-7. Spash possession, Mitch Malik going for the pass, and it's intercepted by Tigers' Matt Rickman. He goes to make the touchdown, making it 23-7 Tigers. Well, they would miss the 2-point conversion afterward. 3 seconds left in the third quarter. Marshfield going for the field goal. It's blocked by Panthers captain John Barnes to end the third. Marshfield is victorious 31-10.